Alrighty. What's up? You were at the scene of the crime, Justin.
I was.
Happy Thursday. Happy week 4. We're gonna be positive here at some point, but probably not the start. So go ahead. Floor is yours.
We're being that positive.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you think? Before I go, I wanted you to go first.
Yeah, I mean, obviously starts on the defensive end. I haven't seen a Ravens team bully like that in a long time. We could not get any stops. Whenever our run defense was okay, the passing game, they just converted every 3rd and 6 or so, let's say. Just guys were wide open, no pass rush at all. And then it leaked into the second half where it kind of flipped a little bit, where their run game just got going. Our D-line got manhandled by their O-line. And we still couldn't get any pass rush. And any times we blitzed or we didn't blitz or whatever it was. And they just kind of did what they wanted. They controlled the clock, which is – I don't remember if I said this last week, but that was one worry I had when I saw that Matabuke was out. He's also going to be out a while, which is not good. The Lions have a good running game, good running backs, and when we don't have one of our best defensive run stoppers, and clearly the depth isn't there yet. Hopefully we figure it out, but yeah, it was just a mess all around. Hopefully it's fixable. Obviously Matabuke is out for at least a little while. He's not playing this week. The linebackers look slow and out of place and not knowing what they were doing. It was just a mess all around.
Any particular coaching adjustments that you see? Because actually, you know what? Here, let me just get this off. I can't stand this anymore. I've been so angry for 3 days. What's it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Still angry. You're way more measured than me. Maybe you already got it out. I don't want to root for a team. You know how embarrassing that is? That is disgusting. I'd rather just be 5-12 or however many fucking games they're playing these days. That's just unacceptable. The reason it's unacceptable is because it was a complete effort thing. I tortured myself and watched more film than I care to admit, but it's just. So you made 2 points I wanted to touch on specifically. The first was, the run defense was terrible effort-wise, but they couldn't guard on the 3rd and 6. Like Malachi Starks may as well have just been a DNP. He was terrible. Didn't want to have any contact and couldn't guard. It was giving so much cushion on St. Brown that it was just way too easy. You say the defensive line got pushed around. It was really, I don't want to just say Roquan's the problem, we should get rid of him, but Roquan's the problem, we should get rid of him because he's supposed to be the leader of the defense. So you can't just be downgraded to second in command and Kyle Hamilton's first in command when Kyle Hamilton is soft-spoken and it's just not the leader of the defense. We have no leadership on defense. Zach Orr is just like a linebackers coach. You know what I mean? Like it's just not, there's no actual leader of the defense. And nobody's smart enough to lead the defense, which leads to whatever this game is going on with the Seahawks and the Cardinals, where that should be the head coach. But that's a story for another day. They do not have what Monken brought to the offense. They just don't have on the defense. So for the first time ever, and we talked about this in a fun way last week, right? Like, isn't this fun? Like, try to adjust rooting for an offensive team because Lamar just scored 50 points. That wasn't fun. Like if the secondary is gonna suck, you know what I'll do? I'll just blame it on the rules. I'll be like, I don't know. They're scared of getting defensive holding. It's easy for wide receivers. I'm annoyed, but I don't care after the game. I'm not gonna root for a team that just got punked and put like absolutely bulldozed right down the middle. I don't know that I don't know what's fixable about it because it was an effort thing. So you tell me what's fixable because I see dark holes. I see the Chiefs beating us. I said I was going to be positive. I don't know when I'm going to be positive. Probably when we get to Lamar. I can't believe we're 3-point favorites. I expect the Chiefs to just run the ball up the middle and have 30 drives.
We can get into the next game. at some point. But just since you brought it up, I'm glad at least like our problem right now is partly pass rush, partly run defense. The Chiefs don't have a very good run offense and offense in general, not like the Lions. So I think that's one good thing. Like their stronger suit is defense. So hopefully it's a matchup thing. I don't know. Maybe the Lions are a bad matchup for us. I'm trying to see it a different way. Like we can't be that. We can't be that bad. Like we're not that bad of a team that we showed on Monday night. It was hopefully just a fluke.
You know,
I know that there's definitely defensive problems. I don't know if I see the pass rush getting any better without Van Noy and Matabuke.
you know, hang on for a second. You do know the Lions center retired, one of the best centers before the season. They got a guard from Georgia, and Glasgow's been around forever. Then a second-year guy, McKinney. Those three guys are entering the Hall of Fame. The Chiefs are I'm telling you, they're going to run for 2 yards or 3 yards. It doesn't matter. It's going to be 3rd and 5. We have a 0% chance to stop them on 3rd and 5. So we got to score 65 points next week in order to win the game. It's a complete.
The Chiefs ain't scoring 40 points.
You don't think the Chiefs are scoring 30-plus points next week?
I don't.
Okay. Watch. We're not going to be able to get off the field. We can't stop. When you talk about the pass rush, that's fixable. You know why it's fixable? Because Kyle Van Noy can come back. He's not really he's not playing defensive tackle or middle linebacker or strong safety.
They just have to play a better game. Maybe it's possible. It's not. I don't see the Chiefs scoring 30. I don't.
Okay. Well, I would say this. The way they played was so embarrassing. It was almost impossible after the game to be like, what do you want to fix? And then they all have different podcasts, so I could go listen to their podcast. And they're like, I don't know. I asked my friends. Marlon's like, I don't know. I asked him. He doesn't know. It's all Roquan's fault because you picked the wrong leader. You can't have the wrong leader. There's only one leader. That's just how it works. He's the leader when he's in a good mood or when we're playing a bad team or when things are going his way. But what he did last week was it's just ridiculous because they just get off the field one time. All right, now we'll get positive. Because if they get off the field one time, the offense, the Derrick Henry stuff doesn't frustrate me. I'm still not frustrated. That's just like fucking whatever. It's unlucky. It's football. Our offense is so good that us not playing complimentary football and maybe – God, I thought it was going to be positive. Let me take a deep breath. The reason that I'm frustrated is because now Lamar is trying to do too much. So he regressed.
Yeah.
It was the worst that he's played from the pocket in 2 years. He doesn't do that anymore. It was almost like, but he knows he's got to score a touchdown on every possession because we can't stop anybody.
Yeah, and partly the problem I had when we were on offense in the second half was we went into that frame of mind where we just passed every play, and we do that from time to time, and it's not necessary. Like I remember sitting up there and be like, we're passing every play, what's going on here? And then when we finally gave it to Henry, I was like, good, okay, we're getting the run game going. The first play, that was when he fumbled. It had been like a whole quarter since he touched the ball, I swear. And
Hopkins
you can't go like that. Like we're passing every single play, and Hill was in on like most of the plays. When it was like a tie game or we got one score, it was kind of like when we went back to the Chiefs playoff game and AFC Championship. Like we did not run the ball. We just gave up on it. And it just reminded me of that. And then the whole running game was out of rhythm, but I mean, also wasn't good, but it's definitely seems more fixable than defensive problems. Like Henry should get it going. I don't know what Ricard's deal is. Like they keep saying like it's his injury is looming longer than it should, but like,
oh, shocker.
I haven't seen he hasn't practiced. Like that can't help.
No, it's not great. Lamar is so good. The throw that he made to Andrews when we were up 21-14, I thought we were going to blow him out. Like I
did too. I thought that was the momentum swing to everything. It was like a 3rd goal from the 13.
Yeah,
and after a dime flag pattern to the pylon. Yeah,
I don't know how he got this good. I'm sure we can read about it somewhere. He's got a quarterback coach that he sees in the summertime and the work that he puts in because his whole body language is nonchalant. But the pass accuracy, I know we see it, so we don't follow every single quarterback as closely. But I don't know who's ever made such a big jump. So that's why I'm getting anxious because he's getting anxious. He made me anxious. That's how he used to make me feel. Oh boy. All right. Let's think about
real quick, back to your point. Like it does seem like he's trying to do too much when he knows. It's like when our offense doesn't score on a possession, it's like the end of the world because we know the defense is not going to stop a good offense like we had last week in the Lions. It was like, yeah. You just felt if we didn't score and we had to punt the ball, it was like, well, fuck, here we go again.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. So they made the adjustments last year, right? Like obviously they started off slow in defense. They made the switch to have Ardarius Washington. Malachi Starks was bad yesterday. He just was.
Yeah, I mean, and he's a rookie, but yes, he has not shown anything. Mike Green played a lot. He didn't really do much either. They're rookies. It's gonna happen. But yeah, maybe we need to rotate some other players in. I mean, obviously Washington's not around for at least another few months.
I would trade Trevor Simpson, I guess, as a DNP. He played 0 snaps yesterday. 0. Buchanan took 94%, or yesterday, one day. Buchanan took 94% of the snaps. Trenton Simpson was limited to special teams only. Roquan played every snap.
I didn't realize Simpson played none. I know it was Buchanan most of the time on the field. But
it went. I think Buchanan got like 70. 70 plus percent of the snaps the week before, and maybe that was because it was a blowout. But obviously, the Ravens don't trust Trenton Simpson. The linebackers are absolutely a liability. They should trade Roquan for a 6th-round pick and find. I don't know. What's his face? Who's the linebacker that would always bring back? Not Ellerby. God. I forget his name. He'll come to me later. But this is just the leadership is all messed up. I don't know what's wrong with them, but I watched
Chris Board.
No, but I'm talking about from like the Super Bowl year. I was going to make a stupid joke, but Chris Board would be an upgrade. I think almost anybody. You know what? You have to go back to something, right? And then I'll be done with Roquan because who cares? Let's not spend all night being super negative. But the truth of the matter is the Bears are linebacker central, right? Like all the Bears want to do is have a great middle linebacker. They draft Roquan Smith. They develop Roquan Smith. They're ready to pay Roquan Smith. They're like, never mind. We have the worst run defense basically in the NFL. They were like 24th or something against the run. We don't want Roquan. We don't want to pay him. He comes here, amazing right away, gets paid, and it's been up and down. Seems like a great guy. I almost love everything he says. That's why it's hard to be like hard on him. And I don't know if it's just slow, but yesterday or Monday was like, dude, as a fan, I don't know. You're just like, what am I watching here? I'm not used to it. I'd rather Lamar throw 7 interceptions, and then I could just be like, yeah, well, that's football. But to get run over like that is embarrassing. It's humiliating. And I don't know. There's a reason why the Bears moved off of him. They thought he shouldn't be the leader of the defense, and we have paid Kyle Hamilton. Things are awkward around here. So let's move on. Let's talk about the Chiefs for a second without talking about the Ravens. What did you think of the Chiefs and the Giants? Chiefs barely. Russell Wilson, I guess, had the under for the Giants team point.
Right.
Everybody makes it complicated. They're like, man, I don't know why he threw the ball away. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? It's like, I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to get his head taken off and could care less whether or not they actually won the game. It seemed pretty simple to me. He just didn't want to get hit. That's what Rodgers does every time he drops back. Yeah. So anyway, Giants suck. Chiefs won. What'd you make of the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, it was somewhat of a game I expected. I didn't expect a lot of points. It was ugly. Yeah, the Chiefs got some turnovers from Russell Wilson, but like I remember one of them wasn't super forced. He just like way overthrew a ball to Neighbors, just like threw it up there.
Right at the end of the half.
Yeah, and when they could have taken the lead.
All my future Giants bets look great. I think the cash out value is like negative money. I have to like pay them
going into the year. They're a joke.
Jesus.
Both New York teams have been a joke and are a joke for many, many years.
So what do you think of the Chiefs? You just think the Chiefs are going to come in against us and we're going to beat them 31-20 because they're not going to be able to move the ball against us? That's what you think?
No, I mean, honestly, I see it shaping up to be a close game, unfortunately, because then that means we probably lose because we don't know how to win close games in most cases. Maybe one time it gets turned around, but we also don't have the coaching edge against most teams, especially against Andy Reid and Spagnuolo. So I don't know why I think we're gonna win. I just usually do.
Oh, that's great. I like it.
We can't look as bad as we
blind
did.
faith always works. There's nothing wrong with having blind faith. I'm serious. I know the Ravens are favored. You can make the argument based on all the statistics.
Vegas is in love with us and has been for years.
And
Did you a little betting standpoint? I was curious. I thought our Super Bowl odds or our over/under win totals division would change somehow after that performance. They didn't change a bit.
You know what I think it is?
We're still second favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Here's what I think it is.
Still minus 350 to win the division.
Maybe it's because I lived down in Georgia for a few years, and all the kids down there just love Lamar. Like, he's the most popular player, and I think from a gambling standpoint, the last thing you need to do is bet against Lamar, and you just assume he's going to win. He's extremely likable, so I think that's most of it. Yeah, you're not going to get good betting value on the Ravens at any point. It feels like if you want to give the points, you're a psychopath. If you want to bet the money line, God bless you. I hope the Ravens win. I hope last week was maybe, you know what? It's a long season, and sometimes a team can punch you in the mouth. The only problem is not that particular spot, right? Not on Monday Night Football, not when you're home, not against a team that runs the same freaking play over. It was amazing to watch film. I almost am mad that I did it because now I'm going to have to do it. I think I watched every single play twice. Like, I'm rewinding because I was like, I didn't want to sound ignorant when I came on here to be like, what should I really be mad? Are the Lions amazing at football? And it's like, dude, there's too many times where Roquan just wouldn't try his hardest. I thought it set the bad tone. Oh boy, maybe they fix it. We'll see. Pacheco doesn't look great ever since he broke his leg, but the Chiefs don't have anybody dynamic.
Worthy's should be back. I saw he's fully practiced, so that's not good for us, but I don't know exactly what it'll mean down the line. Kelsey's not the same anymore. Mahomes, their O-line's not very good, and same with their run game. I don't know. I hope we can just make enough plays on offense. I think it could be somewhat of an ugly-ish game, and I don't know if I see either team getting to 30.
Alrighty, let's move on. You got some winners this week, and no Titans, or I have to cancel.
I left them off the card for sure.
They made an adjustment, right? The head coach has been benched from play calling duties, so he's now just going to be able to focus on team clock management and leadership skills, which I'm sure is going over great. Plus, his father works for him as the offensive line coach. I'm sure that makes a lot of sense. Hey, all right, Vikings Steelers, is that on the board or no?
It is for me. Yep.
It is. All right, then never mind. You go through your picks, and then I'll chime in when I'm finished.
Yeah, well, I'm doing a couple of things. I'm not. The Ravens aren't on my card because the past two times I put them on, we have lost. And the one time I didn't, we won and we covered. So I'm gonna just leave that off, and I'll just roll with a few things I got here. So the first one being the first game that I guess that's on the board on Sunday is I like the Vikings money line. A lot of times the Steelers will bite me with this, but I don't know how many times they can win an ugly game, a low-scoring game, create a million turnovers, get outgained by about double, and win the game. I don't know how it keeps happening. It's the craziest formula I've ever seen. They're not a good team. They're just not. They do create turnovers, which is our problem that we don't. They've done it a long enough time where they're good at it, but that's the only thing they do. Rodgers stinks. He can't move. Their offense is stuck in the mud. They can't do anything. I think the Vikings may have had an upgrade at quarterback with Wentz.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, McCarthy's young. He's still developing.
Upgrade.
He looked terrible the first. He played one good quarter out of 8. So I don't think it's that big of a downgrade with Wentz.
It helped Wentz last week that the Bengals kept spotting him points, but
and I don't know how I had the Bengals in that game. That was, I mean, at least it wasn't close. But I just think the Vikings are a better team. The Steelers, they're not a very good team. I don't see them scoring much. It could be a close game just because that's what the Steelers do. But I think the Vikings are better, so I'm taking them in the Dublin game, first NFL game ever, I believe, in Ireland.
If you say so, I hate when they play.
It's gotta be.
I'm not the biggest fan of Europe. I don't know if that's a thing, but anyway, keep going.
Yep. And then I'm going back to my same team I've taken every week that finally paid off last week, the Panthers, with a steamroll of the Falcons.
You like the Panthers?
Yep, they got off the schneid. They're 0-2. They got their first win. This is what I tend to do a lot of times. Taking the points, 5.5 against the Patriots, who are also not a very explosive offensive team. they're okay. But I'm taking 5.5 kind of.
Why do you think
any
it's
day.
5.5? That seems like a lot.
Because, I mean, Carolina's ranked pretty low. I mean, they were getting 5.5 at home against the okay Atlanta team. Divisional game. So I thought that spread was high, clearly, because I liked Carolina. So I'm
I don't
going
know
back to Carolina again. They've
I don't
actually
blame
covered
you.
the last two. So I'm going to keep it
Yeah,
going there.
I don't blame you for the Panthers pick because I feel like I don't want to give 5.5 with the Patriots. It makes me a little nervous. They're 5.5 points. I don't know
Exactly. If you don't want to give 5.5 with Patriots, that means you'll take 5.5 with the Panthers against them. So that's the second one.
Feels weird though. All right, keep going.
Team getting way too many points, I think, is Tampa Bay. I know they have some injuries on offense, but Eagles have not looked good at all. They could easily be 1-2. Their offense is not producing many plays, like positive plays. Barkley and the offense, yeah, they've been slow. Them giving 3.5 in Tampa against a good team, I don't like that at all. So I'm taking Tampa. They didn't look that good against the Jets. They eked out the win. I think it's close. So 3.5 is enough for me. And then this next play is more of a fade of it's a fade of the Colts, and I think the Rams have potential to blow them out. The Colts have had a crazy start to the year with killing the Dolphins, kind of a lucky win against the Broncos, and then going against your favorite team, the Titans.
Yeah.
The Titans are clearly a dumpster fire. I think this is kind of the time where
this is an upgrading competition.
Put back to life. Daniel Jones against this Rams defense, I think, will finally struggle a bit. The Rams are coming off a really bad loss. I think they kind of turn it around and right the ship. I'll give the 3.5 there. I think the Rams can win by a couple touchdowns. And then I haven't done this yet, but my last pick, I'm switching it up. It's time to go over 500 this week. I haven't done it yet. But instead of taking one game, I'm switching it up and taking a tease. So it's going to be Packers and Broncos tease. If anyone doesn't know what a teaser is, pretty much you get usually the standard tease is getting 6 points on top of the spread, but you have to pair it with another team and have to win both. And it's usually about minus 120, 125, depending on the site. So I'm taking Broncos from 7.5 down to 1.5. So Broncos minus 1.5 with the Packers. I think I saw 6.5. So it's pretty much Packers have to win. So basically Packers and Broncos each just have to win. And that tease would be a winner. I don't see Dallas or Cincinnati winning the game. So that's my last pick that I like. And that'll be paired with the last game of the week with the Broncos.
Yeah, they got 2 Monday night games. That's always great. Well, actually,
first one's riveting. A couple of 0-3 teams, Jets and Dolphins. I wish that was second, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, right. Wow. I don't like the Broncos minus 7.5 at all. I don't know if I even like them minus 1.5. I don't like the Broncos. I don't like Sean Payton. I don't like what's going on there with Denver at all. I'm not a big fan.
They've played some competitive games, and I think they right the ship going back home against Browning, even though the Bengals can't look as bad as they did last week. I don't see the Broncos losing, so that's why I put them in there.
All right. Well, did we miss anything? You got anything else for me before I yell about the Ravens' run defense for another 5 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know if you have any picks that stood out to you or spreads or anything.
I will really wait till Sunday to dive in. I kind of like to get more into the minutia. I will say this: if you told me we had a walk-off home run with Dylan Beavers and Kobe Mayo hit a 2-run homer in the 8th, about 6 months ago against the Rays, that would have been leading this for about a half an hour. So I will say one thing positive about the Orioles on the way out is this team is good. If we could extend the season, if everybody started over and we just played 30 more days, I like our chances. It was kind of fun to win the game tonight or this afternoon. And at least they know what the roster is going to look like from the young guys going into spring training. Hopefully it'll bring more confidence. That it seems like most of the positions, it feels like almost every single position is going to be solidified by the time they get to camp. So it'll be fun. And Trevor Rogers is the best pitcher that I've ever watched in the Orioles uniform. I think it's a starts for me to say that. I'm trying to think who that I've watched, right? Like who would be the Mike Messina when I was a little kid? I can't really remember too much.
That's really all I could think of.
Chris Tillman had a run.
Corbin Burns was very good.
No, not like Trevor Rogers though. For 1 year,
Right, but he was
I'm
one of the
talking
best, I guess, until Rodgers and since Messina. He was very solid for us.
maybe.
Which, but either way, I want us to extend Rodgers. I think we could have a good rotation with him and
Nice.
Bradish and Wells, and Kramer as a 4 or 5 is much better than a 2 or a 3.
It'd be nice to pay Rogers so he doesn't have to pitch under pressure. Right now, he's pitching with nothing to lose. We're not competitive. He was
Right,
kind of
that's true.
nobody was expecting anything. Now, next year, if you don't pay him, he's a completely unrestricted free agent. So that means he's basically pitching for $250 million. I'd rather just give him 150, call it even, but we won't because that's just not the way we're going to do things. Because anyway, but all right, let me let you go. Let's figure out if the Cardinals are going to score any points. Seahawks. Any takes with the Seahawks 7-3?
Yeah, this was a weird game. I mean, I feel like these NFC West games are always weird. I didn't have a great feel. Like, we have our book where we have to make pick for every game. I took Seattle just because I'm not a big believer in Arizona.
Yeah,
both these teams are okay. Yeah, I mean, back to you mentioned it before, and a lot of people have said it earlier, and definitely after the Ravens struggles. But kind of wish Mike McDonald was our head coach. If we kind of had any moxie and would have. I mean, it's clearly I don't know. Harbaugh could be on his. He should be on his last legs, but
I do not blame Harbaugh for the run defense. I think big picture, McDonald just knows more football than Harbaugh. It's just one of those things.
He's just not a. Yeah, his X's and O's in game. He doesn't. I've said this before. He doesn't provide much of that, like, adjustment factor. He's more of a motivator and a rah-rah guy, and he's a great off the field coach. But I think we could use someone better on the field.
Yeah, like Monken. Clearly, if you had to rank, I bet you, like, if there's like anonymous polls and people are just ranking the smartest offensive minds in football, Monken's like right there. And then if you did the defensive minds, I don't know which person on the Ravens pops up. Whereas for the past few years, whether it was even Weaver with the Dolphins. Anyway, it is what it is. We got the team that we have. I just want them to play good run defense. I'd rather lose 38-35 if Mahomes throws for 500 yards. I can't watch him not play good run defense. It's like it was just too – I felt helpless. I thought I was getting run over. I've never watched a game and been that upset in a while.
Yeah, no, it's weird as a Ravens fan. Our identity is literally run defense. It's been our bread and butter for 30 years. And
yeah, at least
it's very weird to see. Yeah, because even when our defense has been not great past couple of years in certain spots, it's been the pass defense. Like, a run defense has really always been there. And
right, we accidentally will get some roughing the passers or a personal foul or pass interference, but not run defense. Anyway, all right, let me let you go. I know you gotta go, so I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And see you next week.
We need a big turnaround on Sunday. Let's just hope those. I mean, this happens in sports. You think the sky is falling, and then all of a sudden you turn it around for one game and you kind of go back to neutral. But
okay, you get the last word on that then. That sounds positive.
Yeah, I've just been watching sports my whole life. It's kind of you're never as bad as you look in a loss like that, and you're never as good as like the win from the week prior. It's kind of somewhere in the middle.
We'll always have the first 3.5 quarters of the Ravens Bills game where we look like the best team that's ever been created. So we at least got that.
Yeah, right, that was a good start.
See ya.
All right, Ryan, see ya.